Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Misty, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. A little bit of excitement in the air. Wow, before we dive into all of that, we of course have author Joy Fielding joining the panel today with us. In blue jay blue hair.
With blue hair. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays are going to the World Series. Listen, fans across the country are celebrating the historic win with a special shout out to George Springer, who hit an amazing 3-run homer in the 7th inning. And of course to Jeff Hoffman, who closed it out in the 9th, saving the Jays their 4-3 victory. So the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the World Series for the first time since 1993 and will host the LA Dodgers right here in Toronto for Game 1 this Friday. So this might be an obvious question, but something does feel different in the air. Why does this particular moment feel so momentous? Andrea?
First of all, I want to apologize to Jeff, whose hat I just snatched off his head. But I was super excited. Jeff, you're going to get your hat back. This is, first of all, I just need to say this out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the World Series. I just need to say that out loud. 32 years in the making, and I think it's special for 2 reasons. First of all, okay, we have a lot of great players, great management this year. You Savage, Springer, but there's one player that I have to mention, and that is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This man signed with the Blue Jays when he was just 16 years old, and it's beyond him just playing for us. He also is playing for a family legacy. Those of you who may not know, his father, Vladimir Guerrero Sr., also played. There they are. He played for the Montreal Expos from 96 to 2003. He was inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame back in 2018, but sadly never won a World Series. So last night when Vlad won, he usually always has a quick little one-liner, you know, Yankees lose. But last night after the game, when they were asking him, how does this feel? The tears were just running and streaming, and he just couldn't find the words. And I think in that moment, what he was channeling was, this is bigger than the fans and the team. This is a family legacy. So I felt that. I was also feeling it in the streets because I was in the streets partying with everybody until 2 a.m.
Wow.
You're gonna notice a few of your coworkers have a little bit of a hoarse voice and a little bit tired this morning, but I'll tell you what I saw in the streets. I saw multiple generations there. I saw everybody celebrating and being really like happy and high-fiving. And I think it's beyond just Toronto's win. This is Canada's win. Because the Blue Jays are the only MLB team that are Canadian. So I could feel that. People flew in from as far as London to be here for the game yesterday for that magical Game 7. So I feel like the entire country is behind them. So it's very special and amazing.
Good answer.
And now I'm going to bed.
Hey, Joy, what was the feeling like in your house? Like, were you watching the game?
I'm kind of a late bloomer, so I feel comfortable when they're like 12-0.
Oh, I see.
Then I can relax. So at the end of the 6th inning, I was so tense I couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
And so I went in the other room and I just said to my husband, who is a diehard fan, just call me if anything good happens.
Did he wake you up?
No, I was actually up watching junk.
Okay.
So he was in there, though, really rooting, because last time this happened when the Jays were in the World Series, he actually had tickets for the game that night. What? And I had got tickets for the family for a show in Stratford. And so we went to Stratford, and he's never quite...
Oh, my gosh!
We were driving home, and we heard Joe Carter bat in the last, the home run.
Yeah.
And
was this 92?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And like he's never forgiven me.
Oh, wow!
Well, you have a chance to redeem yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, I have to get tickets.
Maybe I think that's the win there.
Oh, my gosh.
That's so funny. You'll always remember, though. That
Well,
story
he always remembers.
But don't you feel like this moment is also momentous because of nostalgia? Like, I don't know about some of you, but I remember where I was, not at Stratford, but I was like out in the streets in London, Ontario, like the feeling of that rejoicing of everyone being so excited. So that's my generation. But then Simon, my partner, he's 8 years younger. I would have been 18 and Simon would have been 9, I guess. But he, like that moment for kids, 92, 93 of a certain age, like the Jays became everything. They did his parents paid for family portraits of the 4 sons. And he insisted on decking himself out in the blue Jays wear. Like, it's just this beautiful
And that's what's happening now. There's a younger generation that weren't around for the last time they won, and I saw it in the streets, fathers and sons, daughters that were there, decked out in all the gear. So it's another generation having that excitement. Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right, so let's move on to our next one. From one celebration to another, do you make it a priority to commemorate your anniversary? All right, well, Kristen, a little slow to answer there, but okay. Kristen Bell recently freaked out on a red carpet after forgetting her wedding date. Kristen and her husband, Dax Shepard, have been married for over 12 years. So how important are anniversary dates to you guys?
Joy, you've been married for
forever.
Okay.
I've been married for 51 years.
Wow. So do you celebrate? Do you celebrate anniversaries?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Nothing like my daughter who's there, who celebrates the day they met, the day they moved in together, their wedding day, everything. We kind of just do it once a year.
Well, that's my question, though, actually, is that, like, how do you decide? Like, I've been with Jason for 20, like, we started dating in November of 2000. I don't remember the exact date. Yeah. But that's a long time. We've been married since 2009. So this is where I get confused. Is like, do you count the first date? No. Do you count the first time that, you know, things got serious? Do you count, like, which one trumps the other one? That's why I'm just kind of like, why don't we just make little time for celebrations all the time, as opposed to, like, just trying to...
So do you celebrate any of the anniversaries?
I'm a little bit more Kristen Bell on this one. My parents had their 50th wedding anniversary. I feel like if we make it to 50 years, I would celebrate that.
So you're only going to celebrate till you have to wait for a while.
But you remember when you're younger? Like, I remember making a cake for my high school boyfriend because we'd been together for 8 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so absurd. And I'm like you, Cynthia. Like, I can't really tell you the day that we got well, we're not married. So I don't know what our anniversary is.
Well, the day that you decide to go steady. Right? When you're younger, you're going steady.
Yeah, it's been a long courtship.
Day?
It's been an incredibly long courtship.
It's so interesting to hear people in long-term relationships kind of not remember the date, because when you're single and you're dating, you remember all of these things. They're so special to you. Like, this is the anniversary of the first time we kissed, and this is the anniversary of the first time that you texted me, and this is I'm with your daughter. I get it. So I'm wondering what happens over time where you're just like, we've been together.
Yeah. You know what? I think it depends.
Happens?
If Melissa Grelo was here, she's a cuddle bug. She celebrates her anniversary.
But
so
the
I think
majority
it's
of
okay.
long-term couples are just like,
Well,
I find them not so.
You do,
I mean, every year,
So it takes all kinds.
We go for dinner. We acknowledge
There
it.
you
I
go.
get a nice present usually.
Ooh.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say. Did you just flash again?
What?
That is some celebration.
Yeah. Oh my God. Stunning.
Oh, gosh. So here is a question. Do you embrace going gray?
No.
A writer for Pop Sugar is pushing back against the movement we've seen in recent years with young women refusing to dye their gray hair. So she says that she admires gray and finds it beautiful, and that she's not ready to embrace her own silver locks just yet. So Joy, what do you think about this point of view?
Well, clearly, I'm not a gray hair person, but you look beautiful.
Very kind.
But it's not for me.
Was it never? Was it just like, I'm not doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
I just knew that it wouldn't really suit me.
And how did you make this decision to go blue?
Yeah. I honestly don't know what possessed me, but I just went into the hairdresser one day and said, kind of make it like it looks like you dip my hair in the inkwell, you know? So it was a little more involved than that. It took 2 hours to do this, but it was,
But it's beautiful.
But I like it. It's
I
fun.
love it.
Thank you.
It looks so good.
So talk about this decision that you made.
Well, gray hair. I kind of like how mine's growing in. I think that sounds funny, but I think it's a big factor. Like if you have very dark hair and then it starts going gray, it's going to be very obvious. But I have lighter hair, and it kind of grew into these stripes, so it's like, oh my gosh, it's so exotic. I love it. But I can relate to this woman's POV, if you will, with other things, in the sense that in the last couple of months, I have been asked if I am eligible for the seniors discount. Hey, and that's a beautiful thing. That's coming up. It's just not happening right now. But it made me feel like a little self-conscious being asked about that because I'm not a senior, and you know, I've gained a little weight. I've let myself go a bit because this last year has been really, really hard. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you're feeling really great on the inside, as when I have felt in the past, your confidence is so great, or at least mine was, that I didn't really care what I looked on the outside, because this is just a vessel for all the great stuff that's going on inside. But thank you, but here's the rub. When you're not feeling so great on the inside either, then it's kind of like, oh, well, what can I do to my outside to fix? Because the outside fix for me is much easier than the inside work. That's hard.
That's so profound.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, it's so true, though. I think I often will talk about how I just want to embrace aging as much as possible, how I resist some of these things that we try to interfere with, that we should all feel really proud of our aging, and yet I'm totally contradictory, because like I don't want to go gray yet. I think it's because also, like, I see people who do it and they look really great, but
like
then
me.
Exactly. But you don't know. Like, you're starting with lighter hair, like you said. For me to do it, I'd have to like take the plunge in. And if I don't like it, like that's a huge commitment.
The grow out would be really hard because you have very long hair. I haven't grayed yet. I have like maybe 10 gray hairs. You don't usually normally see my real hair, but trust me, I don't have a lot of gray hairs. But I'm getting gray hairs in random places.
Go on.
And I don't know if this is happening to other people. In my nose, you know the little hairs in your nose? I got in my eyelash, and I have one in an eyebrow. I haven't checked downstairs, and I don't want to. I don't want to get the mirror out and start looking. But it's interesting, as soon as I saw those hairs, I get this weird feeling, and it's not as profound as you. It's just more like, oh, is this the stage of life? Are we accepting this? But I know every single woman I've ever met who was dyeing her hair and then went, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, and went gray, always looked better. Wow. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? If it happens, I'm just gonna let it happen, because every single woman, including my wonderful Aunt Felicia, she looked incredible as soon as she went gray. She actually looked more beautiful. So when it all fills out in the nostrils and the eyelashes and everywhere, I'm just gonna let it happen.
There we go. You save so much money, too.
Yeah.
So much money. Oh my gosh. Are we done with that topic?
I think so. I think, are we not doing the second topic? That's what I'm just gonna, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Hey, do you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about you, Joy.
Oh, okay.
Because the 46th Annual Toronto International Festival of Authors kicks off next week, and as part of the festival, you'll be discussing your latest book, Jenny Cooper Has a Secret. So, I want to hear more about this book. Tell me about why you wrote this story.
Well, I wrote the story really because I felt I am a senior, and I thought, okay, I want to write a book really that I can relate to, and also it's a little easier for me to relate to now. So it's the story about a 76-year-old woman who basically goes to visit her friend in a memory care facility. The friend has Alzheimer's, and she meets a 92-year-old woman who tells her she has a secret. And I'm not giving anything away because it's on the book jacket. Her secret is that she kills people.
Oh my gosh!
She is basically a serial killer. And so you don't know really whether, you know, this woman has dementia. She's nuttier than a fruitcake, but she's, you know, you don't know, is she telling the truth or is she not?
Yeah.
But I wanted really to explore the whole thing, the whole phenomenon of getting older and what happens, and create real, believable older women in popular fiction, because there aren't a lot of us. And I thought it would be an interesting idea to explore while putting it into hopefully a very entertaining, actually quite funny story.
Wow.
Bravo.
Joy.
That sounds incredible.
What a
Just
tease.
incredible.
It's always a pleasure having you here. Please come back again soon.
Oh, I would love to.
So
My
good.
pleasure.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.